Good morning. We're so excited you're here this morning. I dressed up for you. Ryan's got his calves out. But we want you to come on in and let's walk through the house. You ready? All right. Come on in. You can talk too, babe.
Oh,
You
sorry.
don't have to leave it all to me. Okay, so we've been waiting for this day to take you through the house for so long, and I know that we already did a home tour on the day that we moved in, but the house was empty. And so now that we're here, we're living here, it's still not fully decorated, but we didn't want to wait any longer. We wanted to show you, and you'll get to see the whole process with us and how things move along. And so just like we did the first time, if you watched our live tour, we're gonna go upstairs first, but I wanna talk about this little entryway a little bit. Honey, you wanna? So the sun is blazing in here this morning, so we're just trying to find the right lighting where you can still see me, but you can see the house. So as we go along, I wanna answer a few questions, and then maybe at the end we can tackle a whole bunch. You guys had tons of questions. So in this little spot in the house, this was a unique place for us to reveal some of the original character of the home. When we bought it, it had been updated back in the 60s, and a lot of that original character was covered up. But as you know, an Italian, or why can't I think of the word?
Victorian?
Yeah. I haven't drank my whole Diet Coke yet this morning. A Victorian home is kind of fussy. That's the nature of them. They're kind of fancy. We are not fancy. And so we wanted to honor the home, but we also wanted to make it us as well. So one of the fun things that we did to show the original character of the house is leave the stairway open up here. And that's not a decorating thing, but it was a design decision that I'm so happy that we did. And also leaving the floorboards open over the entryway there, so you can see the original craftsmanship. The size of the beams and everything that they used back in those days, it was first generation timber, so it's just pretty amazing. It's fun to get to see. And then this whole area here, we had it shiplapped, and it was an 8-inch MDF product that was sourced through our local door retailer, and I just love the way it came out. This was such a huge cavern, and it was all wallpapered originally, and so it needed some interest. And then also, if you can see that window way up there, we added that to just bring more light in and for some additional charm. So before we go upstairs, some of you were asking about the bay window and if it's original to the house. It probably is not original, but it was here when we bought the place. Maybe it was added in the 60s. And I almost had thoughts of taking it out, but then we realized it's kind of essential. This is such a narrow stairway, and to be able to make that turn with furniture to get upstairs, it actually is useful. So eventually, I think I want to have a cushion made to fit in this little spot. For now, we just have a couple pillows here, but it is a really fun place to sit and just look out at the farm. So I love it, and it is a lot of great natural light. So going upstairs, the upstairs is really just our kids' zone. And so our kids' bedrooms and their bathroom. So this is our son's room, and it's really bright in here. So I don't know if you can even see. Can you see, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe if you come over here and look back this way. So he's 20, and he is just still living at home while he is going to college to save money. And so he won't be here long, but for now, this is his room, and we're happy he's here. Since this is such a bright room, I thought this might be a good place to talk about the window treatment. Some of you were asking about that and how they operate. And so we love these woven shades from Blinds Galore. And there is a link in the Reveal blog post that's called Our Completed Renovation on the Prairie, if you're curious to find this exact one. But what I love about them is they add texture at wherever there's a window, and we also did a privacy backing on the back. So from the outside of the house, it just looks white. And these are you can see how much light they block out.
Yeah, put it all the way down and just...
So it's awesome. And really, we never close the ones downstairs. I mean, it's rare. But of course, in bedrooms, this is pretty bright in the morning. And sometimes our son likes to sleep in.
And sometimes by that we mean all the time.
Yeah. Okay. We're not going to go in closets, especially because our kids aren't here. They're at camp this week, so I don't want to like invade their privacy. This is the kids' bathroom. Babe, I'll just let you go in there because it's kind of tight.
It's not as tight as you think, but...
It's tough on a little iPhone to like get the whole overall view. But this bathroom was very, very blue when we bought the house, and anyway, it was needing an upgrade. And so we also moved the vanity. The vanity was originally over in front of the windows, and wasn't practical for us because we wanted a mirror above. And our daughter requested that this room be very white, and so we did white board and batten and white walls above, and I felt like it needed a little detail, so that's why I did that little Swiss cross stencil. It helped, it added a lot. The floor in this bathroom I absolutely love. You've heard me talk about it. It's a Stainmaster product. It's luxury vinyl. It's 100% waterproof. But, oh, it's looking so much darker on the screen than what it really is. It's actually a pretty light wood, and it matches pretty closely with our engineered hardwood floors downstairs. So that was a win, because it really added some warmth to a white room.
This carpet is also Stainmaster. Sorry, babe.
Oh, sorry.
And the pattern is kind of the same pattern that was in the house prior to. So you can kind of see this kind of older pattern, I guess, if you will. I don't know what shape you call that.
I wouldn't call it older.
Not older, but it reminds. Sorry, that's my
Are you making fun of my choices?
Check out my foot.
Oh, the calves. You better show
not
them.
the calves, but look at that sweet golf tan.
Okay.
What are you doing?
All right.
Sorry. Anyway, calves are later. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait for that. But anyway, just wanted to show you that, and yeah. So here we go.
And hey, while we're talking about carpet, a lot of you wondered about why in the world we're putting carpet in our new home. I love carpet for so many reasons, but for the coziness factor and for the sound factor. Having the carpet on the stairs and in the upstairs hall in the bedrooms helps deaden the sound. So this stairwell was very echoey when we first got here. And so this really helped. It was carpeted before, and maybe the window, I don't know, something helped. But I love carpet, especially for bedrooms, for coziness. Okay, you guys, this is still not decor, but when they were gutting the house, they uncovered this beautiful brick fireplace, and this is the chimney to the fireplace that's downstairs in my office that we'll see soon. But once this was revealed, I was like, oh my gosh, can we please leave that? I love, love, love it. It adds so much fun character up here. Okay, so come on in, our daughter's room. This is actually, first, no, we're not gonna look in there. We're not going in closets. Actually, it's pretty neat, I think. But this is a linen closet. It was originally a doorway to a bedroom, a little tiny bedroom that did not have a closet. So that's why we turned that into a linen and then took the two bedrooms and made it into one for our daughter. And so this is our daughter's bedroom. And she has such a pretty view out her windows. Babe, maybe you can show the view. Love it. This bed that she picked out, I am obsessed with it, and I couldn't believe when she picked it because that's exactly what I would pick. So I'll link it right here if you're looking for something similar. We've been really happy with it. And the bedding, we searched all over the internets to find it. We found it on eBay because they don't make it anymore, but she wanted kind of that soft, shabby chic look. So
now what size of bed's that too?
It's a queen, and I just love the way it looks up against that board and batten wall. So we'll talk more about board and batten as well. And then Kendall has a big closet. Actually, maybe we could show her closet because it's so tidy.
She said tidy, not tiny.
No, it's tidy. It's very clean. She's very organized. But this originally was a little tiny closet, just like this section right here. And of course, every 16-year-old girl's dream is to have a really big closet. So I think her closet is better than my closet.
I think every girl's dreams have a big closet. So, and she's got a little window seat in here too,
Yeah.
which is cool, and a nice window.
And
so.
it's a really pretty view out to the cows, and it's just fun. Okay, so let's go downstairs and look at the main part of the house.
This is the point where we make everybody sick because we're going so fast.
Well, I want to make the best use of your time today. And Ryan has to like go off to a meeting, so.
You know, that little pesky thing called work.
We're doing this early in the morning before he has to be at work. Okay, you guys, the living room. This room, if you followed along, you know that it was stumping me. Some of you were asking how wide it is. It's very narrow. From this wall over to the fireplace, that is 14 feet. And then it's super, super long. I can't remember the measurement all the way down, but we took out a bunch of walls and opened it way up. And so originally you saw we had the sofas right here, and I loved that for the looks. It looked really pretty on film and for posts, but I was so unsettled. We both were. Ryan was never coming in here and sitting down, and I wasn't
Neither
either.
were you.
I wasn't either. And I was like, every time I'd run into someone in town and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I love your house, I felt like I was hiding something. Because I was like, thank you, but I didn't feel comfortable here yet. So, you know, my friend Anne came over and helped me like completely turn it upside down to make it more livable for us, and we are so happy. So some of you were asking about the clock. The clock is from Ballard Designs. And then this fun little piece we found at one of our favorite stores, the Vintage Industry. It was $49, and we just gave it a little makeover to fit the TV. And what I love about it is from over here, when you look down, you can't even see the TV because it's within the cabinet. So moving our furniture over to the end of the room like this gives us a cozy spot to watch TV, and it's just so much more comfortable. And then moving the chairs and this rug over here to this spot in front of the fireplace helped keep the flow open. So when we have people over, there's a lot of places to stand around and chat and gather. And these chairs can be turned around for movie night. It's just like a lot more user-friendly.
More functional.
More functional for us. So,
which is the key for us.
Yeah.
Right?
The key
That's the
is
difference.
for us. We live here.
I mean,
and
that's design, right? Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, it's true. And yeah, you're right. So let's talk about the board and batten. A lot of you have been asking if we have a tutorial. We don't, because we didn't do it. We left that to the experts. During the renovation, our finished carpenters did the board and batten, and I love it for just something different, and it's such a classic look. And so some of you were asking about the spacing. We did a 12 inches on center spacing because I felt like that was kind of more classic and would be in line with the age of the house. And just very simple molding. So you can see up at the top, they are very, very simple. I said, I don't want it to look fancy. I just want it to be humble and inviting, and I love the way it came out. Okay, so I don't know, Ryan, make sure that you got a good shot of this area in the living room. So,
Okay, I'm gonna pan around.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to take the camera off you, if you know what I mean.
Oh, right.
How you doing?
This coffee table, that is new. I don't know if you noticed, but that was redone by my friend Anne at Pedal Home, and oh my goodness, I love it. And I'm just seeing there's like a cobweb.
What?
Lots of bugs in the country.
That didn't even show up on. Come on, we gotta keep
a
our
lot of
own
you were
secrets.
asking about the rug.
This rug right here.
And you can find you know, a lot of this stuff on the blog under Shop Our House, or there's a link in my bio if you want to follow that. But I also will link the rug right here because that is a Always a question, and we love it. We've had it for a few years, and it just never gets old, and it's actually really soft. Like,
yeah, it's really not as dark as it shows up either.
no, it's really, really light. I was kind of worried about it when I ordered it, and then when it arrived, I was pleasantly surprised. So let's talk about this bench arrangement. This was my sister's idea, Jamie. I have to give her full credit, because when we were trying to make this arrangement work, something wasn't right about this area. It just didn't feel heavy enough and have enough presence to take up the focal point, which is the fireplace. And so she said, what about that bench? Why don't you move that over here? And I was like, oh, Jamie, no, I don't think so, but maybe. I mean, I'll try it, you know. And this bench, it's a little bit taller than a normal bench. We found it at a vintage sale a couple of years ago, and it is one of my favorite things. So I thought, well, if it worked, I would love to have that there. So we're kind of using it as kind of a quasi sofa table, and it was a fun place to get to show a little bit more decor, because I do like to sprinkle fun little things around the house while still keeping it hopefully clean feeling and not too hard to look at, and I want it to be relaxing. Another question we get all the time, and you can find this on Shop Our House also, but the chairs. We've had these for a long time. They were our splurge when we built our last house, and they're from Ethan Allen, and we love them. We've had them, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 years, and they never get old. I love them, and they're so comfy. So
and the proper term is bobbin chairs. Thank you.
Oh, what did I call them?
I don't know. You just said chairs, and
oh,
you know, I'm kind of a decorator myself, so I kind of like. And look, it looks chippy.
Yeah, they're just the perfect amount.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the fireplace. So the fireplace was originally on the other side of the room, and we moved it over here to be more of a focal point. So when you come in the door, it's the first thing you see. When it was over there, it was going to have to be totally redone anyway, because it was not safe, and so we were going to have to redo it no matter what. So I love the stone, and we did like an over grout technique, so lots and lots of white grout instead of a natural like gray grout. I know on camera it looks way darker than it looks in real life, but if you were here, trust me, it looks a lot lighter and pretty. And then the mantle is one of my favorite things. The mantle is from Old Wood Limited, and we were looking for something that would that wasn't brand new and shiny and like trim. I wanted something that looked rustic and humble, and maybe like it's been here with the house for a long, long time. And this company is in Ohio, but they ship all over the place. You can even look at specific pieces on their website, and so you know exactly what you're buying. It shows every side of it. Then they can custom trim it down to the size you want, and the process was really seamless. So we love that. And then the fireplace, I love. It's a propane insert fireplace, and that is from Home Fire Stove here in Salem, Oregon, and they are amazing. And I'm totally a fireplace girl, so I'm really excited about that. As soon as the weather is not like 95 degrees, I'll be back using that again. Okay, let's talk about decorating mistakes or design mistakes. That's me. In my mind, I was thinking like our last house, we had done built-ins next to the fireplace, and that's where we put the TV. So I thought, oh, in this house, we'll just do the same thing. Well, over the process of the renovation, the built-ins had to get shorter and not as deep, so we didn't take up too much room because this room is so narrow. It's not like when you're building a brand new house and you can just decide how big your living room is. We had to work within the parameters of this house, which made it tough, but it also, it was kind of nice to have some guidelines. So we can't do that. We got to make it work. We got to think outside the box. So the built-ins were all set up for TV. That didn't end up working out, but it's all going to be okay.
You can see how narrow it is.
Yeah. And that really wasn't the problem, but when we actually set a TV up here, first of all, it had to be super tiny, and second of all, it was totally in competition with the mantle. And that was terrible because I love to decorate the mantle. We did try the TV up on top of the mantle too, which I don't like, but it was way too high. It was not comfortable to watch like that. So
And you don't like that personally. But
I don't
if
like
other
that
people
personally.
do it,
It works great for some people, but since the nature of my job is decorating, and me personally, I love to decorate a mantle more than anything, except maybe a porch. Porches might be my favorite. But so that would be a huge sacrifice for me. I know it works beautifully for a lot of people to put their TV there. Okay, so we'll keep on going on into the house.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on going. The hutch is something that we've had for a long time. A friend had gotten it, actually 2 separate pieces, these don't even go together, from Goodwill. And she had, back in the days when we were all doing like the red and black and yellow, really rich colors, she had painted it black and I bought it from her. And it was black for a few years in our home. And then one day I got the wild hair to paint it white. And it's been white ever since, now for a lot of years. And every house we've been in, we always wonder if it's gonna make the cut. I don't know, is that hutch gonna go anywhere? But I love it. Ryan, maybe not so much.
Because I'm the one that carries it.
Yeah, it's really heavy. He loves it now, but it's actually great storage underneath. I have like lots of decor things in there and stuff, and I love it. It's just like part of us now, and I'm really proud that it's like a Goodwill find and it costs nothing, but I still love it. Okay, so the dining area. This was one of our biggest concerns when we were building the house, is where in the world are we going to be able to fit a dining room table? So this actually worked out insanely amazing. I couldn't believe we actually ended up having a pretty comfortable spot for a dining room table. And we have room to extend when we host holidays or whatever. We can always extend into the living room. And one of the things that was upsetting me is we had such a big place for our dining room table in our old house. We had such a great spot to extend it. But you can't make decisions for your house for, you know, maybe 2 holidays a year that you host. And so I had to get over that, and that was a sacrifice that we made when we moved here and we opened up all this space, and I wanted it all to be living. This works best for us on a day-to-day because we actually, most of the time, sit at the kitchen island. We don't sit at the table super often. So our original dining room table that we had had for years and years, I loved, but it was really beefy, and so we sold that and we upgraded, or maybe downgraded to a smaller table. So this little guy is from Pier 1 and I love it. And that meant then new chairs. And so, because the other chairs were really massive next to this little table. And so we did the combination. I felt like all black was a little bit too harsh, and so we did a couple slip-covered chairs as well to just add some softness. And if you'll notice throughout the house, you know, they say you should have a little touch of black in every room. And so it's sprinkled through everywhere, and it just helps bring everything into focus. I love a little bit of black. So you can find the chairs. I'll put a link here to these chairs. Okay, technical difficulties. And then you can swipe up to find the little slip-covered chairs right here.
Which you just did the Swiss cross.
Yes, I just added that the other day, so these come plain, but I just felt like they needed a little detail, and then it helps tie in the black chairs, and I just love a good Swiss cross. The chandelier is from Hinkley Lighting, and I adore it. It's like just that super simple look. It's almost like colonial, which I love, just the really humble, plain looking look to it. And this is actually like an oil rubbed bronze color, but it's so dark that it reads black. So it ties in with all the other black fixtures that we have. So we did black cabinet hardware, black lighting. You'll see the little lights above the fireplace over there are from Barn Light USA, which I love. And so little touches of black throughout the house is what we were after. Okay, so the kitchen is next. That is a really fun subject. So many things to talk about in here. The kitchen was originally over there where the pantry is. Inside that sort of shape was the entire kitchen. It was like a little galley kitchen. And we decided to convert what was the dining room, the kitchen and also a little butler's pantry on this side into one big room. The thing with the butler's pantry is it was closed off from everything else, and there is such a pretty view. It was full of windows, but it wasn't allowing any of the light into the room. And so we had to pay a bunch of extra money to move some electrical and work it out, but it was totally worth it to make this happen. The one downer about this area is the ceilings in this room suddenly went down to less than 8 feet high. And so we decided to vault up into a creepy storage closet upstairs. It used to be off of our daughter's room. And so we could give nice high ceilings to the kitchen, and I just love it. Completely changed the feel in here. So we did move windows around according to how we wanted to lay out the house. We decided we kept playing with the layout of the kitchen over and over. This was a headache for me. I waffled and waffled over this, but I knew that I really, ideally, wanted the range to be right here with a window on each side to allow more light in, because I thought it would be fun to have this kind of as the focal point at the end of the kitchen. So that's what led to this beautiful tile from Pratt & Larson. I love, love, love it. We had such fun working with them, and they hand make all their tile right here in Oregon, up in Portland, and that was just super fun. And then we did a stucco hood over top with a little wood accent to tie in some warmth in a very wet kitchen.
Do you guys remember when I put my fingerprints in this thing?
Yeah, it was still wet, and Ryan
They're
came
right
up
there.
and, yep.
You can kind of see them.
It's a little darker. We decided to leave it.
I think it's right there.
Yep.
That makes sense?
It's a memory.
Oh, I'm so stupid. The pot filler is from Delta.
Yeah, right? And that I actually have been using that. That is pretty awesome. Something that we've always wanted to have. So.
Yeah, and then just real quick, our range, that's from Kelly's Home Furnishings.
Kelly's Appliances,
Kelly's
here
Appliances
in Salem, Oregon.
So big shout out to Jeff Kelly and Craig Kelly, the owners of Kelly's. They worked really, really great with us, and
Scott.
We appreciate them. Scott yes.
Kelly.
Scott Kelly as well.
So the cabinets we selected at a time when I thought I was going to do a super bright white trim throughout the house. And so we chose a color, it's a Rada color that's called Very White. And then along the line, when it came time to pick paint, which was one of the hardest decisions in the entire process, when I brought the paint color that I thought I was going to use on trim into the house, it didn't look good. Like, even though it looked good in the paint store, it looked good in our old house, it didn't look good here. Something about the reflection of our surroundings, maybe all the green from outside, it looked horrible. And so we had to switch gears, and we ended up choosing Sherwin-Williams Alabaster as our trim and walls throughout the house. And then I thought, oh great, now I've picked these super bright white cabinets. Is that gonna look okay with a warm white? And it looks beautiful, and I love it. And it's better to me than doing it all exactly the same. It's like a range of whites, like it's just been collected over time. So there are so many design decisions to make in a kitchen. Since we were doing so much white, we decided in this house to do a stained island. But we kept the whole thing consistent with the same countertops throughout. So the countertops are Pental quartz, and the color is Carrara. And up close, they just kind of look like a little bit of a marbled look, marble, but a lot more durable than marble. And then all of you guys are asking about the stain color on the island. The island is made out of alder, and I didn't love any of the stain colors that our cabinet maker had. And so he custom made a color for us, and he called it light brown. So I know that's not very helpful to all of you guys, but I love the way it came out. And then all the cabinet hardware is from D. Lawless Hardware, and you can find links to the exact choices that we made on that same blog post. I will link it right here. our completed renovation on the Prairie. So love that and the way it came out. We also did our microwave in the island, and so you don't see it, it's not a focal point. It's real life, so we do use a microwave, but I didn't want to be looking at it, so. And then behind me is one of my favorite things, the barn door from Artisan Hardware. They are an amazing company, and they let us design the exact door that we were wanting. If you followed us for a while, you know in our old home we had a barn door that we loved, but I didn't want to do the same thing here. And so we chose something with a window in it, so that any light that comes from those two little windows on the other side in the pantry can flood into the kitchen as well. And so we do get a lot of like late afternoon pretty sun, and I didn't want to sacrifice that. So I love it. And then some of you have asked about the chalkboard wall and why we did a chalkboard right there. And it's a functional reason, because when you have a barn door that's sliding, you obviously can't hang anything on this great big piece of wall. And so a chalkboard is a perfect idea, and I'm a chalkboard girl. I love chalkboards. And so we painted this ourselves. Our builder did back this area with a piece of MDF, so it would be a smooth surface. And then we painted about 3 coats of a Valspar chalkboard paint onto it, and it works great. I love it. So this is the date that we moved into the house, so I still haven't changed up the chalkboard, but we've been busy. So while we're here, I'll take you into the pantry. Some of you have been asking if you're gonna get to go in there. It's a tiny, tiny room, but come on in. It is awesome to have the storage, and we're not stocked up on groceries right now, so please no questions about where's all your food. But the shelving is awesome, and then this whole side, Ryan, if you can show this side over here.
I'm getting there.
Okay, you don't make the people sick.
It's hard to see.
Is a great spot to store all the stuff that I don't want out on my kitchen counter, crock pots and coffee pot. We don't really drink coffee, but we do have an option in case, you know, when we have people coming over. So, and then the lighting that you'll see over here, the sneaky lighting that I thought no one was going to see, is the functional lighting, but it's not seen from outside. And then the little cute warehouse light is just for fun. And then back here in this little niche, and oh gosh, it's dusty, is
you can't see that on your, don't worry about it.
A little chest freezer, which is really awesome to have, because you know there's not a ton of room in the regular freezer, and so this is a great option. I don't have to go, well, we don't have a garage, so there's no garage to go to for an extra freezer, so that's the option for now. You guys, this sweet little sign with our logo on it was made by a sweet follower, and I'll tag her here. She's so sweet. That's the first gift we received when we moved into the house. So that's the little pantry tour. And then coming back into the kitchen, I want to talk about this sink. So this farm sink, I've always wanted a farm sink, and this is a fire clay sink from Sinkology, and we love it. It's a super durable product. If you're looking for a farm sink, I would highly recommend popping over there and checking them out. And then our beautiful faucet from Delta also. This one is called the Cassidy, and I love it. And some people were asking about mixing the finishes in a kitchen. And I chose chrome for us because it's classic, and our home is so old. I wanted to always be trying to make classic choices with something like the faucet that we probably won't be changing out often. I don't plan to, but I really wanted the cabinet hardware to be black. We did a flat back black finish for that unassuming, simple look, but it would really pops nicely off the white cabinets. So it's absolutely okay to mix your finishes in a kitchen. I usually try and keep it to 2 and make sure that it ties in somewhere, but in my mind, the chrome ties in because it's classic, and then our appliances are stainless, which is also silver, so I don't know. You just rationalize it in your own head, how it kind of all ties together.
And something else that might be different, I guess, is we put 2 pulls on a lot of these drawers.
Oh yeah.
So you want to explain kind of why you
Look,
did
there's
that?
not even anything in this drawer.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know I had an empty drawer.
Oh, we better hide some more crap.
Yeah, we did too because I fell in love with these poles. These are called the 5-inch Lombard poles from D. Lawless Hardware. And I loved them, but they didn't look like quite enough for just one on these great big, very wide drawers. And so I was like, well, how about if we just do 2 on each one? And I love it. And to me, it looks more like a piece of furniture having 2. So that's just something that happened in the moment, and that's the fun of renovating a house is there's a lot of things you don't plan for, and you're like, hey, no, that would be fun, let's do it. Then let's talk about the pendants. I love those pendants. I was trying to decide what kind of amazing light fixture we would want in this house. And our last house, we had some great big lanterns, which I loved as well, but I wanted to be different here. You know, as a designer, you always want to try all the things. And I've picked out a lot of light fixtures for a lot of clients, and so I've kind of seen everything, but I had never seen these before. And I didn't realize quite how large they were online. And when they arrived, what did you say, Ryan?
Holy something.
He was like, no way, those are way too big. But he came around and now he loves them too, right, Ryan?
Yes, I do. If you've ever seen the, well, I'm not going to say that. Forget it. I love them.
They're large and in charge. And the reason they work here is because we have a really high ceiling and, well, high for our standards is really not that high. But you can also see through them now, so they're not blocking your line of sight, and which keeps everything looking light and airy and the feeling that we were after. And I love the texture that they bring, and they actually were relatively inexpensive for pendants. So when we originally selected them, it was a hot button issue, and a lot of people were like, I am not sure about those pendants. But here's what I have to say about that. It doesn't have to be permanent. They probably are not going to be there for 50 years, but they're kind of like earrings. I'm going to wear these earrings today, but I'm not going to wear these earrings every day, forever and ever. So it's actually an inexpensive way to update your home and change it out. So in a few years, if we're sick of them, we'll probably, I'm not going to say we're going to change them out because I love them with all of my heart. So that was a fun choice, and Ryan's trying to get a good shot from a ways back. I'm hoping you can see with the light behind me with the windows.
Yeah, we can see. It's
okay.
Just, it's tough, you know. You look like an angel like always. So.
Right. Let's talk about decor a little bit. I'm just realizing that you're seeing our Diet Cokes, but hey.
Oh yeah.
That's how we get
Let's get
started
a extreme
in the morning.
close up here. Can you guess which one's mine?
The lipstick. This post is not sponsored by McDonald's.
Actually, this one's mine. Don't ask me why.
No, it's fine. When decorating the kitchen island, I used to do some pretty elaborate vignettes, and I was really into that. But I'm kind of more into the more simple look now. And I love the look of just like a few canisters. In case you're wondering, it's oats, flour, and sugar. We don't actually use, okay, I'm telling you all my secrets. We don't actually use these things because these canisters, I love them. They're just from Walmart, but they don't seal. And so, I don't know, out here if we might like get some weird bug or something going in there. So I don't actually use those. They're just for looks. So that is generic oats and generic flour and generic sugar. And this little olive tree was a gift from my sweet friend Jamie, our builder's wife. So cute. The counter stools are from Ballard Designs, and I just liked them because they looked really simple and didn't take away from all the other things there are to look at in here. Some of you were asking about how we were going to style the upper cabinets where the glass is up there. This is not a permanent look. I feel like this might be something that will change out, but for now I just put some books up there with some little succulents because I love books, and it adds a little bit of warmth and texture to the room, even though it's not necessarily very kitchen-y. Glass cabinets can get you into trouble, and they're kind of tough to style, and a lot of people ask about that, and I don't have the answer. I'd have to see your home and know exactly how it is for you. In our old home, we just had like some wire baskets up there, and it worked. Here, that doesn't work because it fights with the the textured look of our pendant. So I don't really have a great solution for that yet. I'm kind of wishing, if somebody was asking if I could have done anything differently, one thing is I might not have done glass in the upper part of those cabinets. I did glass because I thought it would be fun to bring in some more light and make them look lighter and more open, but it does take away from our storage capabilities. And in this kitchen, which isn't huge, it would be nice. Although this island does have doors all along the back where we keep like our holiday dishes and stuff like that. So we're actually good on storage. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, we have a whole drawer we just showed them that's empty.
Yeah, that is true. I'm pretty excited. Like, what should I put in that drawer?
We can find something.
Okay, let's talk about this fun little built-in. This is the Dutch door, the green door from the outside, just to give you some perspective, and we'll go out there so you can sort of get your mind around how the house is laid out. But I love this little mud bench area. And this was, when we originally looked at the house, was like a no-brainer. When we came in this door, I was like, oh my gosh, I could see a mud bench right here with the pantry behind it. And so that worked out. But the finished carpenter, his name is Ivan, is so amazing. We stood here and talked about what we were thinking for 5 minutes, and bam, he just did it. Like, he is so incredible. So, and then the rug here is from Rejuvenation, and it matches the runner that we've always had in our kitchen, even in our last house. And so I knew I loved it, and I just love the texture, and again, another little touch of black. And since we're here, let's go out on the porch. So this, let's talk about the door. The door is maybe my favorite thing in the whole entire house. This Dutch door from Simpson Door Company. And I love them because I love the door, but I also love them because they are a company right here in the Northwest. They're located up in Washington State. And so we love to support businesses that just stand for the same things we stand for, which is, you know, buying American made when you can. And I just love them. They are an awesome company. So come on outside here. So this is really our main entry, and when we looked at the house, our thing that really got us excited was, oh my gosh, can you imagine having a back porch entry for our friends and family? It just it felt so much more inviting and just casual, like we're barefoot kind of people. So I love it.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously we both are barefoot.
Again, the golf tan.
This was a worry for me about how we were going to lay out the back porch and what it was going to be made out of, and we did go over budget by a fair bit on our project, and so it needed to be fairly budget friendly, but we still wanted to spend enough to make it so it wouldn't be a muddy mess going into the house. So that's why we ended up doing a concrete patio, which I love, and it's nice and big and goes all the way down. And then we did the exposed aggregate concrete walkway. Really quick, I'll touch on budget. That has been actually a really big question. People are wondering if we're willing to share the financial end of it, because you might be planning something similar. We're not sharing our budget information. We're keeping that private, but I will say that the cost of our project was probably similar to building a new home. It was worth it to us because we fell in love with this property, and we love the idea of bringing this super old 128-year-old home back to its former glory, and to have a family living in it again. But like I said, the property just grabbed our hearts. It's 6 acres, mostly pasture land. We do hope to get animals in the future, but we need to mend some fences before the animals can come live here. But we are excited for that. Until then, we're enjoying our cows next door. Ryan is out there every morning.
Hi, I'm in the shot now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, bye-bye.
I can see you.
Yeah, no more.
Every morning and every evening, you guys, it's so cute. The cows come running down the hill to see us. They're so cute. I love them so much. So back to the budget thing. Not only was it comparable to building a new home, but I want to say what you see on TV for renovation shows is not reality. It is not anywhere close to reality. So know that going in. A couple things about renovation is you know that you're going to go over budget, and know that you have to be flexible. There's going to be 100,000 things that happen along the way, but you just go with it and you let that be your guide, and you let that help you determine the decisions that you make. Okay, the goats are totally making so much noise over there. Let's go back in and I'll show you my office. Oh, goodness.
I think I just broke something.
Okay, so this is my office, one of my favorite rooms in the house. And this is where that original fireplace is located. And believe it or not, in our plans, before we uncovered the chimney in that upstairs hallway, I was thinking we would just take this fireplace out so I could have a nice big closet, because I do have like a lot of stuff to store from my design business. But once we uncovered that upstairs hall and we saw the beautiful brick, we knew that what was once like blue wallpaper, it was beautiful brick underneath. And then we figured out that it's the original fireplace that was in the home, and we're like, okay, we can't take that out. And I love the way it turned out. They just totally stripped it, and it's so pretty. And then Home Fire Stove did a little insert in there, a propane insert as well. And so I have a cozy fireplace. I can't wait for winter. And then the ceiling, we also left that exposed because it's so pretty. And you see all those little white stripes on the beams. That is where the lath and plaster used to be. And so I love just the way they look in its raw state. And the reason that we could leave the ceilings open in this room is because over this area of the house, there's no plumbing running in the floorboards. So in the living room, we couldn't leave it open because the plumbing from the upstairs bath runs through there, and that's not pretty to look at, and it also makes a lot of noise when someone uses the facilities upstairs. So we decided to add a little shiplap on this wall for some interest. And then this little door is the under the stairs closet.
Show them inside.
I know. I just shoved everything in there.
No, show them. Come on. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
I can't believe you made me show that. That's terrible. I shoved everything in there before we were going to show you the office. So now you really know my secrets. So, but I love the way the Finnish carpenter was able to make the door sort of hidden by incorporating the shiplap. And then this whole wall, we did built-ins all along for my office, and so we have lots of file storage, and this is the prettiest seat in the house. When I sit here and work on my computer, my view is of the barn and the cows, and I just love it. So this cubby, if you remember, was from our old house, and so I love having it in here to enjoy. And then the French doors, super cute little baby French doors, are painted. All of our interior doors actually are painted Sherwin-Williams Amazing Gray, and that was Ryan's idea, and a really nice relief from all the white everywhere. Okay, and then you'll notice this room also is carpet. A couple reasons for that. One is because it's cozy, and I like to be cozy when I'm in my office. And number two is old house, very uneven floors. And probably the worst of it is here in my office. So when you walk in, you're literally walking downhill. So if we had chosen a hard surface, it would look a lot more obvious, and my desk chair might like slide down the hill or something. So that was a carpet kind of helped cover that up. That's one thing that we've had to sort of come to terms with in this old house is the flooring is all, you know, you notice it when you walk through the house, ups and downs, but it's all part of the character of the home. So part of fun.
Thank God for Stainmaster, though.
Yes. Real quick, before we go on to the other side of the house, I'll talk about these floors. We've had so many questions about them. I'll put the name of it right here on the screen. They're called Casa, engineered hardwood, French oak, and believe it or not, the color is called biscuit. How perfect could that be?
How appropriate. We like biscuits.
So the floors, like I said, they're engineered hardwood. The reason we decided to do engineered hardwood in here as opposed to the wood looking vinyl like we did upstairs that's from Stainmaster, I actually considered doing that everywhere, but because our home is so old, we wanted to sort of honor the character of the home and have the sound of hardwood in here. And just like the feel of it, it does feel a little different. I do love luxury vinyl because it is quieter. So it's great for those areas, but in here we wanted the engineered hardwood. So I love it. It was a budget buster. That did take us over budget. It was not inexpensive, but we felt like it was worth it. The original hardwoods in the house were not salvageable because they had been patched a billion times and they just were not in good shape at all. They're still under there. They're still under these floors. So if the next family that comes here in however many years wants to try and salvage them, they're still here.
Well, if there is a family, remember we got asked that question.
Yeah.
Is this going to be our forever home?
Good. Yes. Good question.
And would you be willing to sign on the dotted line that it is right now? Or?
I would say it's our forever home. We don't have any plans of going anywhere, but we never say never because you never know where life is going to take you. But we hope to be here for a really long time. Okay, so now we're going to go to the laundry room, and the side of the house that we're going to now was an addition in the 1960s. So it's not original to the house, but it's been here for a long time. So come on over. So this is the laundry room, and originally it was a little red bathroom right here, and then the access to the laundry room was kind of around the corner. But our builder's wife, Jamie, it was her idea to take the bathroom out so it could be a nice flow straight into the laundry room. And we love, love, love it. This flooring in here is also from Stainmaster, a luxury vinyl product. It kind of looks like concrete, which I love, with all the white in here.
I'll just show you guys the transition too.
Yeah, that was a really tough transition. Our hardwood installer had to custom make that piece because, you know, once again, the floors, they're uneven everywhere. So we opted to do a butcher block countertop in here because I have always wanted butcher block countertops. And this room was the perfect room for that because there's so much white. So this is a nice way to help warm it up. So I love it. And then the little concrete sink here from Native Trails, I love. And it ties in with the floors, and it's such a fun farmhouse look.
And the cool black faucet too from Delta's.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
I love that because it's one of these, you know, super fun. So this door right here will eventually lead out to a garage someday when we add on to the house. We can't wait to have a garage at some point.
Hey, I'm just gonna show you guys the pool real quick because
oh no,
I know you'll love it. So that's how perfect we are right there. That's our pool. I'm gonna put a no diving sign right about there.
We can't wait to tackle that project another time, but that's gonna take some budget. So we're thinking maybe like a fun fire pit or something out there. So over here, when what we intended was when you come in the garage, there's a little coat closet here, and then this little mud bench. Can you see that, babe?
Yes.
Okay. So this was intended to be the drop zone for our kids. And so they can drop their backpacks and their shoes and stuff back here. So it's not what you see when you first come in the house at the mud bench. So I get the question a lot about the rug, Ryan, if you can show the rug. That's just a little Home Goods find and a happy accident. I bought that for the entryway and it was way too small. And so it got moved in here and I love it. Okay, so this little door here goes to the back deck to what is currently the pool that's been filled in with dirt by the previous owner. And so that'll be our access to the back area once we get that all fixed up. But come on down the hall here.
I'm coming.
A lot of you asked about family pictures and where we display those in our home.
I'll do a quick one. Hey.
That's our family. I don't tend to use a lot of family pictures in our main living space just because of the nature of my job and showing our home constantly on social media and all that kind of thing. So it's more for privacy reasons. I do incorporate like in built-ins and stuff, little family pictures, but it's not on the wall. So our plan in the hallway, this is such a long hall, is to do a fun gallery wall with our family pictures and things like that. That's special to us, but time. We just need some time, but we're getting there. So first stop right here is the powder bath. Honey, you want to come in here?
Yes, I do.
I love, the first pick in this room was the cement tile floor from Riyadh Tile. I fell in love with it, and so that determined everything else in the room. And once I knew I wanted that tile, it's kind of a busy look, and so everything else had to be pretty simple. So if you really want to know behind the scenes, this room was supposed to be board and batten, and somehow the finished carpenter didn't remember that that's what it was supposed to be, and so it was left with just sheetrock. It got textured and everything, and then I was like, oh, did you remember that was supposed, and he was like, oh shoot. And I go, if shiplap is easier, just do that. And so he did, and I love it. I'm super happy with it. So that's one of those things along the way that flexibility is key, and I don't miss the board and batten at all. So this fun green light fixture is from Barnlight USA also, and it's a little nod to the Dutch door by tying a little green in here. And this fun vanity.
Yeah, I remember that fiasco.
I'll post a link to it right here. It's from House. When it arrived, it didn't look the same as it did online to me. And so I whitewashed it a little bit to make it work, and now I love it. Looks great. Okay, come on down the hall. I'm gonna not let you look in my decor closet because it's an abomination. Right here, let's talk about this. This little window was originally in our daughter's bedroom, and one of the original windows in the house. And it was so pretty, but not energy efficient. And so this was a great place to reuse it. Behind that window is the master closet. So it allows some light from this window out on the porch into the master closet, so it's not just a dark
Those are my
hole.
golf shoes.
Yeah. And that was our friend Debbie's idea. She had a great idea when she was here walking the project with us. She was like, too bad you can't have a window. And I'm like, oh, Kendall's window.
Well, what's Debbie's
all things new interiors.
All things new interiors. You can
Yes.
find her on Instagram.
Yes, you sure can. Okay, so come on back here to the master bedroom. So we transition to carpet as you come in here, and you can notice an immediate quiet when you transition the floor. I love that because your bedroom should be your haven at the end of a long, busy day. I just wanted it to feel really restful. And so many fun things in here, but let's start with the eye candy.
Oh, I'm behind the...
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
The camera.
And
Sorry.
It's not you. But the chandelier was original, well, not original to the house because there wasn't electricity in 1890, but it is very old, and it was in the dining room of this house when we purchased it. And so it couldn't stay in there because that didn't really go with the design, but it was perfect in here. And so we had it rewired so it would be safe. And actually all the guys at the lighting store were just like gaga over it. They were like, this is a really beautiful piece. And then the beams up there on the ceiling, I think, make the chandelier even more beautiful, mixing the rustic with the sparkly. And those came out of a client's horse barn. And we actually went and got those the day that we signed papers on the house. Okay, so the rest of the room, we decided to do board and batten just on that one wall as a focal wall behind the bed. I love it. It adds so much interest and texture without, any work at all. You'll see the same woven shades throughout that bring a lot of warmth to the room. You can find the bedding, the bed, the rug, all that stuff on Shop Our House on the website, or there's a link in my bio if you're curious. And then you guys remember the drop cloth curtains? We have a tutorial that's in my saved highlights. It just says drop cloth curtains. And this was such a fun project. So I bought the drop cloths from Lowe's. These two panels are one drop cloth, And then there's another window behind Ryan that is another one. And this is the easiest project ever and so beautiful. I feel like they look like linen or something, and it was so inexpensive. Each drop cloth was like 20 bucks. And a lot of people were saying, how come you didn't just use the little clips at the top so you didn't even have to do any sewing? Because I did sew a rod pocket up there. Oh, and the curtain rods are from Target, in case you're wondering. But the reason I didn't use the clips in here, yes, you're right, that is an awesome project, and I could use that in other rooms. But in here, if it makes any sense, I didn't want like the clinking. It didn't feel restful to me to use those hooks. And so I just love the softness of just having them up on a rod in a rod pocket. Love it.
Sorry, everybody. I was just telling her how actually pretty she is.
Oh, you're so sweet. I saw a little bit of this and I was like, I'm going to change my clothes. That looks terrible. Okay. So this cabinet, you guys, do you remember this? I found this at a cute little antique store in Mount Angel, Oregon when I was shopping with my friend Jana. We're the two Janas. We think that's so funny when we tell everyone, everywhere we go, we're both named Jana.
They're the Jani, that's the plural.
Yeah, that's what we call ourselves. Anyway, I fell in love with this little cabinet when I found it because it just looked perfect. I knew I needed something tall over on this wall, but I wanted it to just be like very humble looking and just easy to look at, and just, I had an idea. And so when I found this, I don't know, it was just like just over $100, but well worth it. It was like my birthday present. So I love the way it came out, and it just adds that little something that this little corner needed.
Hey, one thing I want to mention real quick, just my two items in this room. One that's missing where this clock is my CPAP machine, because I'm yeah, a little larger on the neck area. But anyway, that's one thing. The other thing is the television. Those are the two things that I own in this area, really, in this room. No, I'm kidding.
You know what?
I absolutely love...
super manly, because you just let me
super manly. Are you kidding?
I want.
Yeah, guys, just a little... Let me give a little design tip for the guys.
Good.
Let the ladies do whatever they want to do.
I love that tip.
You know, because at the end of the day, guys, you just sleep here, right? So, you know, just let it happen.
You
let
might not be making friends with the husbands.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, I have my say.
Okay.
No question about it, right?
Of course,
right? I have my say. So, as I was saying, I do have my say on occasion, but it's a team effort, and that's really what it's about.
We are 100% a team.
100% team. Okay.
Okay, let's talk about this barn door.
Oh, my barn door is open.
So I love this barn door. This is also from Artisan Hardware, and it was the perfect solution for us because I didn't want to sacrifice any space inside the bathroom for door swing. That's one of the things you really got to think through when you're building or renovating, is where your doors are going to swing open and the real estate that takes up. So I love the barn door.
Pay no attention. We are not going to go into our closet.
No.
Not happening. But you can see it.
Let's...
Thank God that's Jana's side.
Right? Actually, his side is like messy.
Yeah,
we haven't lived here very long, babe.
I know, but it's...
You're usually like more neat than that.
Yeah, well...
Okay. Anyway, come on in. The master bathroom. So you guys know I posted yesterday this pretty sign that my sister made. We sort of collaborated together. I told her what quote I wanted and what I was kind of envisioning, and so we got to sit down and design it together. And she's so talented. You should definitely go check out Julie at Signs of Serendipity. And she also, if you're local, she does little workshops that are really fun, and you can make your own sign. So in here, same thing. We did the very white cabinets and the same countertops, which are the Pental quartz, the color's Carrera. And then the walls are alabaster as well, but the board and batten is called, it's Sherwin-Williams front porch. And originally I was gonna use Amazing Gray there because that's what color all the doors. But once the floors got installed, we came over and I was like, oh, I was sick. We had just turned in our paint selections to our builder, and so our painter could get the paint. And it felt like it was going to be way too like brown gray next to the cool color of the marble in the floor. This is like a marble basket weave floor, which is like a super classic pattern, and I felt like it would be good for this old house. And so we had to scramble, and we brought our paint deck over here, and we're looking, and I was like, well, I guess, I can't even remember the other one that I picked. And Ryan said, well, how about that front porch one? That looks cute. And I was like, okay, yeah, sounds good. And so you might think that we just like pour over these decisions and we just like spend so much time planning it, but a lot of things are totally on the fly. And that's the way I like to do it. I'm like, yeah, sure, no, that sounds good. And then we'll just work with it. And when they came and painted the board and batten, I was in love. So that's fun. Anyway, this fun little light fixture, I will link right here. You can swipe up to find it. I love it. And all of the plumbing fixtures in here are from Delta as well, and we did choose chrome. I love chrome for a bathroom because it just looks so beautiful and shiny and clean. And actually the towel hooks as well. Those are the Cassidy robe hooks. Some people have been asking about those. As opposed to using a towel bar, I love that, and it's so much easier. You don't have to do all that folding up of your towels. You just put it on the hook, and I love it. In the bathrooms, we did decide to do obscured glass on the windows. And so I have the shades in here just because this room gets blasted with light at the end of the day. So I will close those to keep the room cooler. But the obscured glass, you wouldn't necessarily need to have a window treatment, especially out where we are, out in the country. And then, what are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at the vanity.
Oh, we did an extra little vanity on this side with a little linen storage in here. The purpose of this vanity is really more just for me because I like to have a drawer for, it's probably really messy, but yeah, it is. All my earrings and stuff like that. It's just more convenient for me to have that like right here. There are no fine jewels in this house, so don't come and rob us. We don't have anything of value. So let's head outside, and we will answer a couple of questions, like sort of frequently asked questions, and maybe we can get Ryan on camera a little bit.
Woo!
Okay, well, it's been so much fun to have you guys here today, and I thought it would be fun to get Ryan on camera for a second, and maybe I could ask you a couple questions.
Okay, sure. Sorry, I'm squinting. Sons of my eyes.
It's kind of right. Tell us, what are some of your favorite things about living at the farm?
Oh, it's just the quiet and I think
As a car goes by really loud?
Yeah, that doesn't matter so much though. Just the cows and the nature and the wildlife, the birds are just amazing out here, you know? I mean, you can see the hawks, and we have 2 doves that just fly all around the property. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, see, there goes a hawk right now.
Oh my gosh.
Right above us.
Right on cue.
Yeah. Oh, look. No.
It could be.
Yeah. So,
what was one of the things that surprised you about the renovation?
I think just I don't know if we pictured how it could look like a new home.
Yeah.
You know, after it was done, and the Fridleys did a really great job for us, and it's just, I don't know, I probably more so how it feels so much like home.
Yeah.
I don't even think about our last home. Mm-hmm. And so it just feels like we've been living here forever.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one other thing that I wanted to touch on is people were asking what was the hardest part about the renovation. And besides picking the perfect paint color, I would say the hardest part was just deciding to do it at all. We found this place on Labor Day weekend of last year, and then we waffled back and forth so many times. Right?
Yeah, and well, you can ask our realtor.
Yeah.
Brian and Nina White, Paramount
real estate. They
Sorry.
are so amazing, and they're so patient,
I was
and
gonna
they're
say
dear
patient.
friends. Otherwise, maybe they wouldn't have put up with us.
Yeah.
But it was a really, really big decision. I mean, we weren't unhappy in our house. We loved our house. We just didn't have property, and that's always been a dream. And when we found this place, of course, we instantly loved it. Maybe we didn't love the house inside yet, but we could see the potential right away. And but the property, it just really grabbed our hearts, I think. But then it's still really hard because that's a really big financial decision. And this guy is not a risk taker.
No, but she is, because she married me.
No, but so that we waffled back and forth. We made an offer, it got rejected. We made another offer, and we just couldn't walk away. We prayed about it and we prayed about it, and we just said, Lord, if this is what's meant to be, would you just open the doors? And he did. He kept opening them, and we kept walking through them, and here we are. So we could not be happier to be here. It just really, it feels like home.
It is home.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
Again?
No, I know. I'm like pretty emotional these days, but it's just been such a fun process, and we have loved having you along for the fun, and we just appreciate your encouraging words, and you guys seem like you're enjoying it just as much as we are, which just brings so much joy. So thanks for being here for our little tour on the prairie.
Yeah, stay tuned. In a couple seconds here, you're going to see some calves. Thanks for stopping by the farm today.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
By the way, I don't think I've got the greatest calves in the world. It's a total joke.
It's
so
become a thing.
It's just stupid, and so allow me to be stupid, okay?
Just tell us
But
goodbye.
you guys are awesome. Bye. Thanks for stopping by.